So welcome everyone. This is our monthly session to educate you about PGMP program. And the objective of this program is that I share basic details about PGMP. I walk through the website so that you know how is the overall process works and handle your specific queries you have related to your PGMP certification. So before we started recording, we already started talking about it and I already have a one query, which is interesting one to start with. So if the person has say 20 plus years of experience and the person was doing project program management and now want to polish the profile with the help of certifications, should the person go for PMP first and then do PGMP, or person can go directly for PGMP? Yeah, we get this query quite often and the answer is pretty simple, but it also depends upon case by case. From a requirement perspective, PMI tells you can directly go for PGMP. What I usually see is if you are targeting jobs and you want something in your CV which can attract search results, then PMP has a more search. Yeah, PMP is used as a filter criteria, as a search criteria quite frequently. But if you have some other element in your CV which are making your CV searched for your desired profile, that is not a problem for you. You just want to strengthen your CV by way of demonstrating program management skills. In that case, one can go directly for PGMP. You don't have to do PMP. Yeah. But if you feel, no, I also want to have something in my CV to come up, and then I want to use PGMP as a differentiator, then it's always a good idea to do PMP first because we have around 1.7 million people PMP certified and the PGMP could be in thousands. Yeah, so not even 100,000. Yeah, so you have a huge difference when it comes to the database and the popularity of the program, and that's the reason we usually prefer giving this path. Do PMP first before you going for PGMP. But yeah, if you have something in your CV, then you can directly go for PGMP as well. Yeah. So with this query, I start with a basic introduction of the PGMP program with the help of a website. And then we talk more about your questions related to PGMP certification and the process you follow. Yeah. So I am directly browsing the website at a PMI only. You can find it here. I'm sharing the link in the chat in case you want to browse it along with me. So when you go to this site, they talk about their program. Yeah, they give you basic introduction and talk about some examination fees and all. Examination fee depends upon the country you are browsing this website. So it is something different for different region. But we need to start focusing on who should do PMP and what is the process of getting PGMP. Sorry, who should do PGMP and what is the process of getting PGMP certification. We want to focus on that. So as initially we started already with the conversation, but we see in our customer base, individuals are doing PGMP because they want to differentiate themselves from a huge crowd of PMP certified professionals, especially those individuals who are having 15 plus years of experience and they are doing project and program management. They want to show their CV little differently rather than just competing with PMP certified individuals. Those individuals are coming and talking, taking the PGMP program. The another reason they do for this particular certification is the way doing PMP certification helps you in positioning yourself and putting the content in your CV in a project management language. Similarly, when I have a formal understanding of program management, I understand various program management jargons, I end up representing my experience in my CV in a more effective manner. So individuals who want to professionally understand what is the boundary of program management, what is usually expected from a program manager, and then I want to showcase me as a different little second step level professional from PMP, then I should think about doing PGMP certification. That's what we have been observing. And that's a kind of customer segment is attracted towards doing PGMP certification program. Yeah, so that's a starting point. Yes, the count is less. Yeah, you may have some set of 1,000 people only, but it is a little differentiated certificate. Now, once you are convinced that I need to do PGMP certification, then the second question comes in, what is the eligibility? What is the process? Yeah, because there is a lot of confusion about PGMP. Do I need to have a PMP certification? There is an application review, there is a panel review, then I get certified. So I'm clarifying the process is pretty straightforward and simple. Just because of less number of people doing, it takes time to communicate this information to many individuals. Because if you are doing PMP, you may just talk left and right. Somebody might have done it. They can educate you about it. But when you are doing PGMP, you can't just get a people from your circle very easily who have done PGMP. And that's why sometimes this confusion gets little bigger. So when it comes to eligibility, I'm talking the bachelor degree space. Yeah. So if individual has done a bachelor degree, in the application which you fill at a pmi.org as an account, you just open an account, free account, you need to demonstrate these things. You need to demonstrate 4 years of project management experience. If you have done PMP certification and your PMP certification is active, that's an important point, active PMP certification. So if you have an active PMP certification, then you don't have to demonstrate your project management experience. Yeah, because they will assume since you have active PMP, you have a project management experience. So if I don't have a PMP, then I need to describe my 4 years of project management experience. Then I need to focus on 4 years of program management experience in the last 15 years. So overall, 4 project, 4 program, 8 years of experience I need to show in my PGMP application. I personally know that many organizations are having a setup where people directly get into program management without doing project management. Yeah. But the way PMI looks at it, they include program management as an extension of project management. So they believe the individual who is doing program management should have an extensive experience and expertise in a project management also. Yeah, it is just not doing at a program management layer. You need to know both the layers well, and that's why they insist on having experience in both the areas. Now, if individual has not done a bachelor degree, then also problem is not big. You just need to augment your program management experience to 7 years. Yeah, so rather than just putting 4 years of project management and 4 years of program management experience, even if you have done PMP, you will do 4 years or PMP certification plus 7 years of program management experience. So this is your eligibility. If you have this eligibility, you can go forward for PGMP program. Yeah. Any question till here before I talk about what is the process, how it works?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Again, Satish, sir. Sir, I understand the training section by you available for PMP, whereas PGMP is concerned only self-paced program only preparation itself, sir. But your training, if it's well and good, it's our request.
Perfect, perfect. So the question, I will talk about how do we assist. So the question here is that do we have from our side, do we have a live class or we just have a self-paced class? So as of now, I am stressing on a self-paced class and you will understand the whole context. But we do have a partner trainer who does a live class also. In case you have a specific need, then we can find it out. But in general, self-paced program is more than enough for PGMP program. So I will explain how the process works after some time. Yeah. Good. Now, before we go to how to prepare, I want to explain a little bit about what is program management. Yeah. And then we focus on how do we move forward? What is the overall process of getting certified after filling the eligibility? What is the next step? So on the same site where we are, if we go little up, we can also download or open something called exam content outline. Yeah. Now this exam content outline helps me in seeing the overall context of program management. So let's open this file. You can follow this link. I'm sharing this link again in case you want to check it. I'm directly sharing the link of a PDF file. Hopefully when you click, it will directly open the PDF file for you. Now this is something the PMI style is periodically they go into the industry and they try to understand what industry expect from a particular role. So based on that approach, the PMI went into the industry and figured it out what industry expects from program management role. And as a result of that, they create a task for the program manager. And those tasks for a program management becomes exam content outline. So there are 70 plus tasks, 72 tasks, and they come together and makes you the exam content outline for PgMP. Now, these tasks can be grouped, or you can say categorized into five categories. They call it domain. So we can understand in the PgMP exam, these five areas will get tested. So first area is called strategic program alignment. So from a PGMP perspective, they are just not focusing on running a coordinated project and getting execution done. That is needed in order to do a program management, but they also stress on ability of a program manager to do a strategic programs, not just tactical programs, strategic program. So they ask you the questions which helps you in learning how do I ensure my program remain aligned to my organization strategic objective. So understanding the organization strategic objective, driving the program objective out of organization strategy, creating the alignment with the help of business case, program charter and roadmap, those kind of concept will get tested in a strategic program alignment. 15% of the questions will come. Program lifecycle management is an execution piece. How do we start various components in the program? How do we manage issues? How do we manage risk? How do we respond to various conflicts? How do we take care of procurement? How do we move from one phase to another phase? How do we prepare the overall program management plan? How do we maintain master schedule? Those kind of execution stuff, which we end up spending the maximum time when we work as a program manager, will come 44%. So that's a huge chunk. If individuals score good in a program lifecycle management, they pass the exam. Mostly, if I am getting above target in a program lifecycle, very rare I fail in the exam. Yeah, you make sure that you get it's automatically get few other domains also pulled up. So that's a very, very important domain. Then we have a benefits management. Alignment is not the right word. Benefits management. Many people face difficulty here in the scoring, though it's a least weighted topic, 11%, but usually the scoring of individuals usually also comes weak here. The benefits alignment or benefits management is all about how, as a program manager, you drive strategic benefit based on the organization strategy. How do you drive and define benefits? How do you create alignment out of benefits? And how do you prepare an overall plan for tracking those benefits and ensure that we have a continuous review of the benefits throughout the program lifecycle? The way in projects, I focus on requirement as a project manager, and I make sure the requirement traceability should be maintained and we should be always mapping the scope to the requirements. Similarly, as a program manager, my focus should be I need to have a benefits traceability. I'm not too much focused on requirement and scope, that project team will take care, but I need to make sure whatever benefits we have identified, they are tracked to the deliverables, they are really getting delivered. And if some change has to be done, we facilitate that interaction so that we align to the benefits. That's the 11%. Usually people find difficult to score good there, but you will get it once you understand the concepts well. Stakeholder engagement, same topic. Stakeholder engagement is important for team leader, for scrum master, for project manager, for program manager, for portfolio manager. So the same idea of working with people, demonstrating emotional intelligence, applying power interest grid, creating stakeholder engagement assessment matrix, those kind of stuff which you might have studied in any stakeholder engagement topic will continue to be useful, yeah, as well as in a program management. Then we have a more focus on governance, providing overall oversight for the program, ensuring that we have a proper escalation processes. We have a process for initiating the component, closing the component, doing milestone reviews, stage gate reviews, milestone/stage gate review, doing appropriate health checks. Those kind of things will come into the governance section. So these topics you have to prepare. And one of the way of preparing is that you understand the exam content outline first. And second, you download a booklet, Program Management Standard 5th edition, from your PMI login. If you are a PMI member, the PDF copy, you can download it as a part of your members' benefits. And if you understand the Program Management Standard and the exam content outline, more or less you are done. You are ready for the exam, more or less, yeah. Yes, there are some tricks and tweaks because the Program Management Standard is okay for explaining you till program lifecycle, but they have something called program activities which are a little confusing. So you may need some augmented learning, but depending upon your experience and confidence, from a general PMI perspective, these two components are good enough to make you ready for the exam. Yeah, so these are the two components. And then I can talk about how do we support for getting this process done. But before that, I also want to explain you the overall certification process, like what is a step 1, step 2, step 3, so that we have a complete picture before I get into how we can support you in getting this certification done. So what we have discussed till now, a basic eligibility, which talks about 4 years of project and 4 years of program management experience. That is good enough. And then second thing which we have discussed is that what is the overall outline of your PgMP exam. Yeah. Any question in these two areas before I go through the sequence of activities you need to do in order to get PgMP certified? And then we talk about how we as an iZenBridge can help you in getting your certification. So what is the process? Yeah, how do we get started? So one of the thing is very clear that you need to focus on eligibility. Yeah. What if after understanding the eligibility and after understanding the exam content outline, how do I move forward? So in the PGMP step, you have a filling of an application. That's your first thing. So you need to open the account at a pmi.org and start filling your application. Now, if you have done any PMI certificate, you know that's a typical process. So this is how the PGMP application looks like. You can start now also. Anyone can get started with a free account. So here you will have various sections. You have an education section, then you will have project section. In case you are already PMP certified, the project experience section will be disabled for you. They will say, oh, you are already certified. You don't have to fill the project section. So, but in case if not, then you need to demonstrate 4 years of project management experience in the project section. Once that is done, yeah, then you move to the third area, yeah, which is a program experience. That is the starting point. Now, program experience has a two elements. First, you need to explain your program, and then you have an experience summary. So program need to be elaborated properly because it will get reviewed by the PMI staff to see that do you really have a program management experience. So you need to demonstrate a strategic initiative which has multiple component in it, projects in it, but the overall program should be designed for achieving some business goals. So you need to talk about what was the organizational objective, how you drive your program objective out of organizational objective, how you identified specific indicators which helps you in measuring the objectives, and what was the overall boundary of your program, means what kind of deliverable you delivered, and what was the overall result in those matrices, what was the target matrix, and if the program is already closed, what was the overall result. So you need to nicely explain your program experience. We do have a separate video which is primarily focusing on application. You can watch that. Yeah, but that's the first thing. Once you pass through explaining your program, then you go to the next step, which is called experience summary. Now, program experience get reviewed by PMI staff. Yeah. But experience summary will get reviewed by panel review. Now, unlike PMP or a PMI ACP kind of a certification program where application is only reviewed by PMI, in this case, PgMP and PfMP, the application goes for expert reviews. That is called panel review. Now, here you have a questions. So they give you 3 questions talking about your strategic leadership and governance area. And for each question, you have a 2 options. You can choose one of it. Yeah. Here they will give you a prompt, and you need to choose a one prompt and answer that particular question. Now, in around 250 to 500 words, I usually recommend that you definitely touch near 500 words, but not more than 500 words. And here you need to carefully explain the realistic experience of handling that particular activity. If you just copy paste what is bookish knowledge about that, then probably your application will get a feedback. So when you are filling your application, you need to fill all these 3 prompts. Yeah, you can take some guidance from internet. We do have our YouTube video. You can definitely use ChatGPT to create English, but it has to be your English. You may use it as an editing and compiling tool, but not as a surrendering to the ChatGPT. Then it will create something which may not be useful for your application. So you can use generative AI, you can use Word, you can use Grammarly and all those things, but it should be demonstrating your experience. For example, rather than saying we prepared a program roadmap, you need to talk about how you prepare the roadmap. So, for example, you talk about that I did a study of various compliance obligation. I studied various dependencies, and based on our capacity limits and talking to some specific, give a name of the stakeholders, I came up with the interdependency and alignment forecast. And using that, I prepared the program roadmap. Yeah, so that is something which is showing you that you really did it rather than you just saying, I prepared the program roadmap. So if you do that, then your application gets strong. And when the panel looks at it, they will just approve it. That's it. Yeah. And once your application get approved, in a way, you have achieved step one of the certification. So this is a two-step certification. One is your application itself is the exam. Yeah, it is a panel review. And once the panel review is done, then you are eligible to give online exam for next 1 year, which will have the similar 170 questions and 4 hours of duration. And that is something you can do it from a Prometric center. Yeah. The fee you need to pay before your application goes for panel review. So you start the application, PMI will review it first. Once PMI thinks it is good to forward to a panel review, they will say pay so that we can forward your application to the panel. You pay the money, it goes to the panel. In case panel is giving you feedback, you can get a one option to fix your application and give it again. If after two attempts they are not liking your application, they will close your application, but you will get your money back. Your money is secure, so it comes back to you. You can restart the application. That's the process. If your application is approved, then you move forward and you schedule your exam at a Prometric center as per your convenience in the next 1 year, and you get certified. Yeah. So this is the process for your PGMP certification. Any question before I talk about how we can support your preparation?
Yes, sir. In this one, two attempts they will give for the application acceptance.
Yes. Yeah.
First, if at all
Yes.
bounced, then again we can fill it and we can submit.
Yes.
Suppose in an optimistic way it will be clear. Suppose other way around, if at all rejected, then application will be closed. Again, we will have a chance to reapply again.
Sir,
Any time frame is there?
No time frame. You can restart.
Immediately.
Yeah, I don't have a personal experience in our client because we usually get it done in the first attempt only.
Great.
Yeah, exceptionally we get into second attempt. Yeah, sometime happens because it's a human judgment. But what I have heard on the social media and other places, so there is no wait time and there is no rule in the guideline also about the wait time. So one can start. The only thing is it will go through PMI review and then it will go again. So it's starting from the zero, which means the panel is saying that, guys, we are not going to review, go to the PMI first, fill your application again, and then once the PMI review it, then bring it again back to us like that.
From scratch again.
Yeah, kind of scratch, but the data is still there. Yes.
Yes.
Good. Anything else, anyone? Okay, what about passing exam if someone fails in the first attempt? Very important question. So see, the failure rate of PgMP is far, far higher compared to PMP. Yeah. When you look at a social media, there are Reddit groups and all. In a PMP, hardly after 10 success stories, you will see, I'm talking about generic social media. I'm not even talking about our client. Our client, hardly anyone fails. But even if I take a global data, after 10, 20 people talks about passing the exam, one person will say, I failed in the exam. Yeah. But if you go to an interaction where PGMP interactions are happening, after every two pass, you will have a one fail, and many a pass will say, I passed in the second attempt. Yeah. So failure rate in the PGMP is pretty high. The fee for retake is around $600. So that's an expensive retake. So you just need to pay a retake and get certified. They will give you two retakes. So overall 3 attempts in a year. And if you can't make it in a year, then you have to wait for 1 year to close and start the application again. Yeah. And many people end up doing in a second and third attempt. That is something is visible trend. I personally believe that is happening because PMI is not mandating any mandatory contact hours. Many individuals think that they have done PMP, so they will just do it and may not take appropriate feedback and try to rush to it. And that's why they end up failing in the exam. That is my perception. Second thing which I am observing, sometime in our customer base, also there are cases where people can't meet it in a first attempt. We have worked with them very closely. So what I see is that they feel confident, but unlike PMP exam, which can be tricked, PMP exam is pretty trickable. You remember, I see this keyword, I answer this. I see this keyword, I answer this. the PGMP exam is not that easily trickable. Yeah, it's not just trick oriented. You need to apply little analytical thinking to pass the exam. So with our program, we support you to get that level of readiness so that you pass the exam. Each attempt will cost you $600 up to 3 attempts. Once your 3 attempts are over, then you start fresh. Then you need to pay the first time fee again, $800, equivalent to $800 for a PMI members. Yeah. So if you are a member, that's a fee. If you're non-member, there's another fee. So first attempt is 800, second attempt and third attempt is 600. If you can't make it, wait for a year and again pay the $800. Yeah. So that's the process. Yeah. And that's where our program comes in. So we tell, you just pay us a $299 and make sure that you don't face any issue. Or if you want to take an application assistance, then we have another product which takes care of both of it, which is around $425, which takes care of application as well as your PGMP preparation. Yeah. So in a 1 year, you can definitely give it 3 times in a one application, else you need to start it again. Yeah. So now I show you how we can support you. Yeah, once you understood all the boundaries and benefits and the limitations. So what is our process? Yeah, that is where we are coming. So we have 2 levels of support. One level of support is application itself. So if you work with us, I do sell this service as a separate product also around $150, or you can take it as a clubbed program where you have both. So in the case of application, we work with you, we give you a template, you fill your details as per the understanding of program management and that template. Then you share with me, I suggest you edits, and then you accept those edits, you submit it, and most likely you will get it within a week or two, your application approved. Yeah, that's a one assistance we provide. And that itself is a learning experience. If someone writes the application and go through the edits, a good amount of program management gets done well. So when I get a first application, when you share your first draft, I get a feeling how much easy or difficult the exam will be for you. Yeah, because the way we present our application and then we work in the iteration, that itself is a very, very valuable learning. So when I give you edit back, you need to carefully read it and understand, how I need to present my program management experience. That's the one thing. Second thing, we have a self-paced program. With application or without application, you can choose to take it. And in that self-paced program, we have a collection of videos and learning material which explains complete program management standard 5th edition to you. Yeah, we have huge amount of content. And after you are done with this, we do have a booklets about exam content outline and all. There is extensive reading and watching resources, yeah, video and reading material. And once you are done with that, then we have assessments. This assessment plays a critical role, especially the area specific assessments. So we help you to do practice in a strategic benefits and stakeholder governance area. And then we spend too much time on program lifecycle. So we tell you to take a 50-question test on a program lifecycle. Then we have another extensive test around program artifacts, various documents you have in program. So we ask you to take that. Yeah, it's a specific test. And then we have another extensive test on a program lifecycle activities. So we have a domain specific test. For each other domains, we have just 50 question test. But for program lifecycle, we have a 250 question test and 170 question test, which makes sure that you get the program lifecycle well. Once you cover these domain tests, many people after covering the domain test, they directly go for exam and get certified. Yeah, if they get a confidence. But if you don't, we do have a full length mock test. So we give you a target that you should be scoring around 75%. If you are not scoring it, then you need to fill your gaps. Then you need to correct that process and give it again, and go to the next exam, go to the next exam. And by doing these questions, you get it well. Yeah. So you get ready. By the time you reach to a 5th test, you should be scoring 130 plus out of 170 questions, right? If you follow that path, you are ready for your PGMP exam. Along with that, we also create a community. Yeah, we have a community of our PGMP clients, WhatsApp community, WhatsApp group, where they can keep discussing their queries and issues. You can keep posting your multiple choice question or doubts. I also periodically open slots for one-on-one conversation. Like for this month, we have around 20 slots which we made open in the Indian morning and Indian evening timings. And many people who need a little half an hour conversation, they can book the slot. So our client also get that facility out of those open available slots. They can also come and talk about their preparation. And in general, we keep talking in our WhatsApp groups. Yeah, so this is something which we do to assist your program management learning and certification. Many a time, if you do this content well, the exam will be easier rather than difficult. And yeah, so things will become very automatic to you rather than you need to remember and try to trick them. Yeah, so that's the overall process.
Oh, excuse me, sir.
Please.
Upon completion of PG, that is upon clearance of the exam, upon successful completion of the exam, passing the exam in PgMP, for PfMP portfolio, same effort, same tempo will do, sir, or in addition, extra more efforts needed from PgMP to
In
PF.
general,
Of course, this session is not for PfMP, but I thought, sorry.
PfMP session I'm doing tomorrow. Yeah, in case you want to get
Oh,
into detail, in case you want to
okay.
get into detail, but little
Okay,
bit
sir.
explanation.
Okay, sir.
The content of PfMP is less tricky than PgMP. Yeah, so
Okay.
PgMP is more tricky. Though, because the questions which PMI gives for PfMP are relatively straightforward, they are not too much situation oriented. And another thing is the outline of the content is pretty much strict. For PGMP also it is strict, but the project portion and integration of projects and program that remains little loosely explained. Yeah, that is not covered in the program management standard. They expect the person should be knowing project management as well. In case of PfMP, the knowledge of project management is not expected. The knowledge of program management is not much expected. You just need to focus on portfolio topic. Yeah, so that way it becomes easier. It may look difficult because it is not focusing on projects and programs. It is basically focusing on strategic alignment. It is basically focusing on advisory, recommendation, evaluation, profitability, those kind of domain rather than execution dependency management. Yeah? So that way there is a different focus area. But from a preparation perspective, I believe it's around 50% of the effort of PGMP in case of doing PFMP.
And upon completion of this PMP, PGMP, PFMP, other courses no need to do, I mean, may not be needed, no, sir, like Scrum, etc.
So
Because
that
this
all
covers
depends
everything.
upon our career path. Yeah. So it is difficult to say which one is
Okay.
needed, which one is not needed. So in a simple word, I can see my target job and I can see in my target job what kind of competencies are asked. And out of that competency, I can see what kind of certification can help me in demonstrating ability in those competencies. So that could be a process we can follow in order to get that answer.
Okay, sir. Okay. And in the LinkedIn profile, if we search in this one, sir, only very few people I could see who completed PGMP and
Yes,
PFMP.
yes,
You are the one, and some, I mean, it's not frequent.
Yes. So I just checked on the PMI repository. So as of
Ah,
now in India, we have around 681 people. India, I'm talking about India as a geography.
yes,
PG
sir.
certified people. There is a possibility some people may say we don't want to get listed in the directory, but there could be only few percentage. But we can say around 700 people are certified in India as a PGMP. And when
Okay,
it
sir.
comes to PFMP, it's the 224. Yeah, so around
Ah,
225.
24.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, sir. PMP, sir, to know the ratio, I am asking.
PMP will be 90,000 plus. Yeah, around
1,000,
100,000, around 100,000. Yeah,
100,000.
yeah.
Okay.
90,000 plus. Yeah, around 90,000. So the ratio
Okay,
is
sir.
not comparable. Yeah. So here
Okay,
we
sir.
are not touching 1,000 and there is 100,000. So that is too much high. Yeah.
Yes. If
Okay.
I am located in UAE, sir, working in UAE, located in, suppose I am doing, now I am planning to do through iZenBridge. In that case, but the certificate will be from PMI.
Yeah,
It,
certificate, everything. Exam is from PMI, certificate from PMI. You can give in a UAE, you can give in India, any place you can
uh,
give. Directly you go to a prometric center and get it done.
okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
So where I am locating, it doesn't matter
Doesn't
because
matter.
I am
Doesn't
doing
matter.
with the PMI. Okay, sir.
Perfect. Yeah. So, So the question is coming in all certification nowadays adopt AI concept. Does PCMP also includes AI concept? So from a PMI perspective, as of now, PMP, PfMP, PgMP is not having any AI tool chapter as of now. Yeah, as of now, I'm in case of PMI ACP, they have a little bit exploration of AI talking about that we can use it for knowledge management. Especially for PfMP, PgMP, they are little strategic certificate. They are less on execution. Yeah, it is more about how do we get what kind of funding or what kind of initiative we should do next. That's a portfolio focus. How do we remain aligned to organizational changing strategic objectives and integrate various program objective to achieve the goal is the focus of program management. Now, program management is also not teaching you MS project to maintain master schedule. They don't teach you, but you need to use it ultimately. So that way, the AI is something like we use it. Yeah. But as of now, there is no testing happening for it. Yeah. So it is definitely relevant, but AI is relevant for anyone. Yeah. So that way, Excel sheet is relevant for anyone, but the Excel is not getting tested in a PMP exam or PGMP exam or PFMP exam. But if I don't know the Excel, I will definitely struggle in my job. Yeah, that way. So if we can take little time, I do have some small questions, yeah, so which can give you a little feeling. What is the idea of program management? Yeah. So that is something we are exploring. So do you offer mentorship? I offer mentorship as a part of our PGMP program, like that you learn the application and you learn about the program. Yeah, that way not as a scheduled mentorship hours like that, but I am providing mentorship for the certification that way. It's a closed agenda one, not the open agenda one. That is something I'm doing. Yeah. Now I have a small 5 questions in case you want to try out, and the idea is so you get a feel what kind of things you can get in program management. I'm trying to keep it as generic as possible rather than getting into artifacts, documents, something which are specific to the exam. So I'm staying away from that. I'm just trying to stick to the common topics. So there are 5 questions. You need to scroll down, but see if you can choose your answers, and probably we can discuss them. Yeah. So I give you around 6, 7 minutes. Yeah, whoever wants to do it. Okay. So 100% participant done, and poll share results. So see, the idea is just to give you a little feel of the content and the topics which we are expected to learn in the PGMP process. Yeah, overall. Say, sometimes things may vary based on which particular certificate you are giving. For example, first question. So, first question is saying a company launches an initiative to integrate its multiple customer service channels, such as phone, chat, and social media, into a single digital experience. The initiative includes multiple technology upgrades, like CRM, chatbot development, data migration, establishing governance framework for running this thing, tracking alignment with the organization's strategic objective. Management has asked you to oversee the initiative and ensure all components work together effectively while achieving the desired strategic outcome. What should you do? So practically, this thing can be done maybe with the help of large project also, but since I am giving a PGMP program and the question is basically focusing on strategic objective, I also understand the programs is a collection of interdependent connected components, and they need to be managed together effectively. So they have an individual freedom, but at the same time they share resources and dependency. So it makes a good case for program. Yeah. So especially when I'm giving PGMP, I will say, yeah, this is a good case for program. Why don't I go for a program here? Yeah. So first option may be possible, but since I'm giving PGMP, I focus on program. That's the option D, or most of you have chosen that. That's a majority result. Great. I don't have to create a portfolio here. There is a possibility we may create a digital portfolio, but portfolios are more about a collection of projects, programs, and operations, may be connected, may be independent, but basically put together to maximize the overall strategic benefit of the organization, not a particular objective, but overall strategic benefits. So there is a thin line. There is a multiple way of organizing this. Then I also need to see which particular exam I am giving. In general, I am giving a PGMP exam. I focus on program, and that's how If you choose option D, great. That is what you have done. Most of you, this is the right answer. Now, which of the following is the most likely the responsibility of a program manager? Yeah. So see, the program manager, the goal of a program manager is working as an integrator, coordinator, and alignment guy towards benefits which this program has to achieve. Yeah, that is something I do. So, do I need to develop a detailed schedule? Most of you said no. Yes, no. Prioritize and authorize programs and projects to ensure organization investment aligned with the strategic objective. That's a portfolio management role, not a project program management role. Program is still execution. I'm still a delivery guy. Yeah, I'm not a recommender or a strategic advisor. Let's do this, let's not do this. Here we will make money, here we will not make money. Yeah, project manager can also bring an advice as a change request. Program manager can also bring advice as a change request. But I am not the one who is evaluating these ideas. So option B is for the portfolio, not for the program. Option C, one of you have selected that, is about the program. So coordinate related project to ensure interdependencies are managed, benefits are realized, and outcome aligned to the organization strategy. So that is what we expect from the program manager in the PGMP exam. Define end user requirement. None of you selected that. Yes, that is not the relevant option here. It's a project team's role. It's a business analyst or a product owner's role, which they will be doing for their individual components. So in the question 2, the option C, coordinate related projects to ensure interdependencies are managed. Some of you have selected that, is the right answer. Now, question 3, two team members are fighting. So that was a little tricky. Now the whole idea here is I don't get too much involved in project execution. And that's why option B, majority of you have selected, is the right option. The option C is a very close one. It's pretty close, but it is jumping to the problem. I will just solve this problem. I will say, let the project manager handle it, but I need to probably acknowledge it. Yeah, I probably can say, let the project manager handle the issue and continue monitor. Yeah, if things escalate, then I will take care of it. Yeah, else let this guy handle it. So I need to learn that I don't have to focus too much on team member problem, execution problem. I need to remain at a strategic level. Yeah. I probably don't talk to the team members very often when I'm working as a program manager. So that's the mindset I need to choose. And that's why majority of you selected option B. That's the right option. That's how you think like a program manager. That's it. Yeah. What are the best way to define relationship between project and program manager? Yeah. So overall, the option B, which is again majority has selected, is the right one. Yeah, so project and program manager provides strategic direction, manage dependency, and ensure benefit alignment. And project manager is expected to get the deliverable done, work with the team. Now, the project manager does planning or team does planning, depend upon life cycle also. But overall, project manager is ensuring component level delivery, component level quality, component level day-to-day issue. And program manager is ensuring interdependency, resource utilization at a program level, and then ensuring that we achieve our strategic objective. Yeah, so benefits alignment, strategic objective is the focus of a program manager. Yeah, that is what we will look into. The final question, which most of you got it right, is again the 100% of you who voted got it right. So which of the following statement true about the program? So program is made of a project that collectively serves a common strategic goal of the organization. Yeah. So if you got 5 out of 4 right, you probably are ready for PGMP exam. Yeah, you just need to get some jargons and terminologies which were missing in this particular set of questions purposefully, because I don't want to confuse you by saying benefits register and benefits management plan and roadmap. Those kind of things I am not bringing in. They are specific jargons and may vary from organization to organization. But when we are preparing for exam, we need to learn those jargons. But in general, this is the mindset. If I get it, I'm ready for program management role as well as for program management certification. Yeah. So that was a small demo of the PGMP. And if you have any question left, we can discuss. Else, from my side, I'm done with the session.
Saket, there was a question posted by Ramesh.
Are these questions posted?
Yeah, the last message or chat or let's say message posted about the other program you had mentioned. Um,
Now, in the chat, please check the query, sir.
So since you do everything from the review application, provide the material, do you offer mentorship?
No, no, Saket, this is Ramesh here. So I have mentioned that I posed that question. You mentioned that you have partnership with someone for a PGMP, right? So,
Okay, so
yeah, yeah.
in case you want to take a live class, so for example, you want to say, no, 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 I am not sufficient with self-paced and continuous mentoring, then we have a one partner trainer, Kailash, who runs a live class also. We can send you to his live class, but rest of the details will remain the same. I will still assist you. We will work with you. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and we will get it done. So we are PMI authorized training provider. We don't have to, but the partnership is only for delivering the live content in case someone needs that. That's the additional thing.
Okay, so the payment fee structure would be different for that.
Yes, fee structure
Okay.
would be different for that. Yeah. So whatever I was discussing, I was basically focusing on self-paced program. Yes.
Okay. So how many people have opted for that? I mean, is it what kind of people face?
Once in a 6 months, we get a 1% or 2%. Yeah, very, very rare. That's not that popular. Initially, we used to publish that on our website also. Since it was that option was not popular, we removed it from our website as well. Yeah, earlier we used to have on our same page, we used to give both the options, but now we have removed it because it was just creating confusion. But in case someone asks on a one-to-one level, then we give it.
Okay. Does it align with what Sherry's has
I don't
asked?
know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So,
Whether the
okay, what
mentorship, does it mentorship?
So mentorship, I also provide you the mentorship. In case of the meaning of mentorship in our case is that we'll help you in filling the application. We clarify your day-to-day doubts. We give you an opportunity in a month to book a slot. In case you want to talk about your queries, we remain connected with you till that you get certified. So you have a continuous assistance. Yeah,
Okay.
that is there. Only thing which is if someone is looking for, I want to get 2 days of live class or a 4 days of live class, that is something we can arrange. Yeah, but after that the same process remains. Yeah, after that live class will be over, still you have to work with me and get things done. Yeah.
so what I was also, I guess, referring to is just continued growth, right? Like you get the certification. I get that all companies operate differently, but it's still about growing within that space.
I got your
And
point. Yeah.
y-
So
y-
see, for that, as you understand, the different company works differently and it becomes little bit zigzag process. It's a fuzzy
mhm.
process. There is no straight line. Yeah. When we talk about certification, it's a pretty straight line. You have a preparation, you have exam content outline, you get certified. That's why it is easy to get certified, but little difficult to get a job. Yeah, yeah, that's yeah. You can get a certification, but you probably don't prove easily your skills in the interviews. So what we do from our perspective, we try to create the community which is for program managers. Usually people stay even after getting certification done. Sometimes they discuss with each other topics which are helpful for them. Yeah, that is always a possibility. Through our social media channels also we interact. Whatever I can assist by way of reviewing your CV, guiding you how to position yourself, and probably do some kind of your experience revamping, those kind of conversation happens. But there is no very specific step-by-step process. It's not like I am running 6 months career transformation program. So that is something I'm not yet into, where we take you probably because I personally believe it's a little fuzzy. It is difficult to give a timeline and still achieve something out of it. Yeah, but that's where we are right now. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to convey is that, PMI's PGMP is a framework, right? So it's just, some organizations favor certain frameworks. So in the particular organization that I work for, they they don't have they haven't locked in on a particular framework. So what I'm trying to do is incorporate PMI's framework in my day-to-day as a program manager. So I have how can I say a process, so to speak, to follow because underneath all of this is the underlying process of like how you do what you do. Um, So yeah,
Got your point. So from our side, whenever we teach any content on program management, yeah, the exam may not require that much depth, but we try to, as we get into strategic alignment and specific topics, once the introductions are over, we also share some sample documents with you, yeah, which gives you a good starting point. I'm not saying they are perfect for your organization, but they give you a starting point with using the content by using our samples. And then in the era of generative AI, you can start creating samples which will be relevant for your organization. If something is missing, we can guide you, but these are the sources which gives you right thinking. Exact template, once you know what kind of a section should be there, what is right, what is wrong, then getting sample template is relatively easy nowadays.
Okay.
So you will come to know overall framework, you will come to know various sample documents, then you can use generative AI, we can show you how to do it, and probably you already know. And then you can definitely establish a good program management practices in your organization. Why I'm sharing it? Because many people did that, yeah, and they shared with us, because our content is not limited to just getting you passing in the exam.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Great. Anything else which needs clarification? Yeah. Okay. So thank you everyone for your interactive participation. And if you have any follow-up query, please connect. Yeah, you can connect with our team, and you can connect with me also on LinkedIn. I am pretty active there. If you are not yet connected, let me share my LinkedIn URL here, so you can directly reach me there. And I keep sharing various ideas related to project, program, and portfolio. So this is there in my chat. So stay connected. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.
So nice, officer.
Thank you. Thank you, Suresh. Bye. Bye.